Happy International Women's Day, everybody. And what a great turnout. My name is Kim Tang, and we're coming to you live from Funky Door Yoga, who is the host studio for USA Yoga's 2025 Nationals Qualifier. Yeah. USA Yoga is a nonprofit organization that promotes the mental and physical health of yoga. But it means something more to me than that, and I'd like to share with you what that is. So I'm going to say just figuratively, anybody can stand up and bust out a standing bow in the front row of a class, but doing it right here on what I call the X is a very different situation. There's way more to it than meets the eye. So I'd like you to realize that today's athletes, thank you athletes, are actually, yeah, today's athletes are actually demonstrating what I'm going to call mastery of central nervous system. Because easy enough to do it in your daily class, on your daily mat, even in the front row. But getting up here is a very different situation. They're also using the body as a learning device for the mind with what I call having the ability to stop, drop, and vortex. And that is the strength of the mind to command what I'm going to call everything that you need and nothing that you don't. Getting up here takes a lot of courage. I know this myself. And I will tell you that it's what I call every athlete is willing to believe in themselves in the form of standing on the X. So please understand what this means to the athletes. It's extraordinary. Okay, please support USA Yoga, and here's how. USA Yoga is a membership organization, and so obviously you can be a member. There are different types of memberships available. You can volunteer at a regional event. You can donate directly to USA Yoga. You can be a host sponsor as someone with merchandise or a studio host sponsor. And by the way, USA Yoga now has merchandise on the website. You can just log in and shop. So maybe one more thing, and that is spectator tickets. So you can buy tickets, thank you, to attend and watch it in person. So all of it goes to support USA Yoga. Now, United States of America, USA Yoga, happens to be a premier flagship studio. And USA Yoga this year is actually sending 29, if I'm correct, American athletes to perform on the International Yoga Sports Federation's world stage in Malaysia on April 5th and 6th. And you are all invited to join us there. Yes to clapping to that. Okay, just a couple of notes for today, and that is that the order of the athletes today will be alphabetical by last name within each category. So you might find that the order of athletes is a little different than was posted online. We have 18 live on-stage athletes here, and immediately following that is 16 athletes online in the qualifier. So stick around for that too, please. And the next national qualifiers is in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on May 3rd. So it's not too late. You can make it to that stage and still qualify for nationals. And that's, again, getting ready for nationals, which is in State College, Pennsylvania, August 1st and 2nd. So let the season continue. And today's MCs are Rai and Carl. And I am going to say so iconic in the yoga community that only the first name is required. Yeah. And so those are my notes, and thank you for being here today. Prepare to be inspired.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Good afternoon, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to be hosting you all at our studio today. And oh, wow, that was me.
That was you last year. That was you preparing for last year.
A quick reminder, please silence your cell phones, everybody. And should we just go ahead and get this thing started? Awesome.
Okay.
All right. So our first category is youth girls ages 9 to 11. And our first competitor is Ananya Partiban from California.
I did a lot of research. I couldn't find anything. So don't know what to expect today, but I hear really good things.
Yes, we're excited. All right, Ananya, come up here.
Come on up.
Check, check. Wow, Ananya, that was amazing. How do you feel right now?
Good.
So, how old are you?
I am 9.
9 years old. Wow. When did you start doing yoga?
From when I was born because my mom and dad are yoga teachers.
Lucky you. So, what is your favorite thing about doing yoga?
I like when I try new things and go to the yoga pose and complete it. And I also like when I when I go and complete a hard yoga pose that I thought I couldn't do but I could.
What does it make you feel like when you do a yoga pose that you didn't think you could do, but you can?
It feels good.
Feels really good, I bet. Powerful and strong, yeah? Cool. What is your favorite pose to practice?
My favorite pose to practice is I like doing like a full wheel pose. I really like back bend because that's what I'm really good at.
I like things I'm good at too. Do you go to a studio or do you practice at home?
Practice I practice on online classes from India and and sometimes my mom and dad take me to the studio for practicing in the evening.
Oh, that's so cool. So you mix it up a little bit. I like that. Okay, cool. So, what are you going to eat for lunch?
I do not know.
Give it up for once again.
Yeah, one more time for Ananya.
Great work. Okay, so we're ready for our next athlete. This athlete is from here in California, Walnut Creek. His practice has been described with dedication, hard work, passion for yoga, which inspires everyone around him. So everyone, please give a round of applause for David Chan, everybody. No? David. Yeah, no, but I'm not from Walnut Creek. Oh, where are you from?
Actually, Redwood Shores, across the bay.
Okay, my mistake. Redwood Shores, and did we get the name right? Okay, got the name right. All right. Everybody, once again from Redwood Shores, David Chan.
Begin, please. time.
Test, test. Hey, David, great job. How do you feel?
Can you ask the same questions as the previous one?
Can I not repeat? Is that not okay?
That's back to I feel great.
Is this your first yoga competition?
Yes.
Well done. You're welcome. What was your favorite posture?
Not falling out.
I love that posture too. Well done. See you at the next one.
Thank you, David. All right. Introducing our next athlete. He is from Texas. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Google. See, this is what I get for doing my research. He said our only job is to practice with sincerity and hard work and let the universe take over. Bringing to the stage, Srini Garapu.
Begin, please.
Srini, that was awesome. So this isn't your first time competing, correct? Yeah, you participated in the nationals. Yeah, 2017. What did it feel like for you today?
This is so special and I want to be here. be here with my coach. When I moved to Texas to Harvard, yoga and Center was the yoga center called Excellence Center. And, I did not know that I could do it. With all the world travels,
this year I want to do it. Cynthia and Michelle
Michelle
said,
said,
you can
you
do
can
it.
do it.
And
And
then
then
most
what's
exciting thing
exciting
is
is
I could
I
also
also
inspire
inspire
several
several
Texas to
Texas to
participate.
participate.
So
So
this
this
year,
year,
4 of
all
my Youth Excellence Center
center
students
students
are
were
already
already
qualified
qualified
for nationals, and 2 more
for
hope to
all
come.
the
It's
so
such
it's
a
a
phenomenal
phenomenal
movement,
moment.
and I
I
hope we
hope
can
we can
truly make
truly make
yoga
yoga
as an Olympic sport.
Amazing.
amazing.
Walk us
Walk
through
us
the
through the
routine. So
routine.
you
So you
started off
started
in
off in
rabbit,
rabbit,
and then
and
you
then
went
you
into a
went to a
fourth
fourth
stretch,
stretch,
the
the
half
half
spine
spine
twist, and
twist,
then
and then
something that we
something
don't
that
get
we
to
don't
see
see
that
that
often is
often
the
is the
peacock
peacock
lift.
lift.
How do you
How do you
prepare for
prepare for
something like
something like
that?
that?
Also, the
Also,
full
the full
camel, I want
camel,
to
I want to
hear.
hear.
See,
The
let me
let
start
me
with the
start
full
with the
camel.
full
It's the
camel. That's
easiest
the
part.
easiest part.
All my
All my
coaches
coaches
in
in
the
the
shop,
shop,
they
they
made
made
me
me
really
really
proud
proud
back then.
back then.
In fact,
In fact,
it's a
it's
little
a
bit of
little
my
of my
story.
story.
In
In
2009, I
2009,
was
I was
supposed to get
supposed
a
to be
back
in back
surgery.
surgery.
I
I
did
did
not
not
have
have
enough flexibility to
flexibility,
move,
move.
and
And
that's when
that's
I
when I
entered
entered
yoga.
yoga.
And that
And that
really,
really,
whatever the
whatever
move
the move
is in
is
the
in the
back
back
bend,
bend,
is the
it's the
result of
result
all
of
the
all the
practice.
practice.
Then
Then
what my
what my
coaches
coach
said.
said.
Now the
Now the
peacock
peacock
is
is
something
something
that
that
I,
it's
like,
like,
it's
it's
always
always
behind
behind
the
the
scenes.
scenes, right?
We
We
have
have
to
to
work
work
hard,
hard,
it's
it's
a
a
daily
daily
practice.
practice.
How
How
many
many
2 hour
2 hour
advanced
advanced
classes that
classes
we
that
did
we did
to
to
lift
lift
one inch at
one
a
inch at
time.
a time.
But
But
even
even
yesterday,
yesterday,
Michelle
Michelle
corrected me on
corrected me
how
on
to
how to
point the
point the
toe.
toe.
It's
It's
all
all
about the
about
right
the right
technique,
techniques.
and then
And
you
then
just
you just
follow
follow
through
through
and
and
let the
let the
universe
universe
do
do
what's
what to them.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much,
Randy.
Randy.
Great
Great
job,
job,
everyone.
everyone.
Give
Give
him
him
a
up.
round of applause.
All
All
right,
right.
up
Up
next
next
from
from
Oregon,
Oregon,
Mr.
Mr.
Jack
Jack.
White.
Begin, please. time.
Test. Hi, why don't you come stand right over here so you're on screen still? Hi, Jack, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you have anything that you want to say right now?
I was so scared.
You were scared? That's actually really good to hear.
Scary.
Was that your first time competing?
I did it last year.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, when I was practicing behind you in the 7 a.m., and I was like, damn, that's a nice triangle. And then when you started off with triangle, I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, I think that's my best pose.
You got to Berkeley a few days early, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Classes here, great studio.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, when you checked in, our front desk staff was like, Rye, one of the competitors is here, and he looks just like Carl. So Carl, why don't you come over here? Let's just do a quick comparison. Yeah. So,
I do now. Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense, right? So don't stand too close to each other because I might get confused. Just watch your back.
Give it up for Jack White,
Congratulations.
everybody.
You did awesome.
Jack White from Oregon. All right. So we are now going into women's category, 50 to 64. The next competitor, she is close to us. She's from San Jose. She actually discovered yoga through Groupon, which, we do Groupon here as well. We understand that. And then it became a passion for her. She discovered it through Groupon. She's a distance runner, and she credits her practice to becoming a better listener and being present. So everyone, please give a nice round of applause to Ella Leon.
Begin, please.
Hi, Ellie. Here, let me hold that for you. Come on down. Come on down. Good job. How are you feeling?
Relieved.
Right? Was that your first competition?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Did you have fun training with Michelle?
I did. Michelle, Cynthia, we owe them everything because they really got us prepared for this. And although my routine wasn't top 10, I mean, I have to thank them because I wouldn't be here without them. Yeah, and the studio, the practice. Yeah, we have amazing teachers.
And what studio do you go to?
Bikram Yoga San Jose.
So I heard you like spending time with your dogs, your family, and your friends in that order.
Yes, basically.
You're definitely welcome at Funky Door anytime.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good? Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie. Please give a round of applause for the next athlete, Barbara Rusak.
Begin, please.
Amazing job, Barbara. How are you feeling?
Really good, really good. The stage right now.
Really? You look right at home up there.
Thank you.
Oh, let's go over here so they can see you on the live stream too. Yeah. The dogs.
Cue the dog.
Freddie, Pico, Shorty. Here they come. Come on, girl. Come on, she needs snuggles. She's nervous. She needs a snuggle.
Maybe later.
Where are you from?
Glen Ellen.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I train at Sonoma Like It Hot Studio.
Beautiful. All right. Shout out to Sonoma County. Yeah. Awesome. Have you competed before?
No, this is my first time, and I'm so grateful to Lisa Lawrence and to Kim Tang, Team Kim Tang. So, thank you.
Where's Lisa? Oh, awesome. Good job, Lisa. You trained her? Wow. That's amazing. Way to go. Cool. Are you going to do this again, do you think?
I think so.
I think you definitely should. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And yeah, look forward to seeing you again on stage.
Thank you.
Okay, introducing our next athlete. She is also local. She practices, her home studio is Bikram Yoga San Jose. Shout out Michelle. She discovered yoga after trying everything else to manage pain in her life. A friend of hers offered Bikram yoga as a solution. And so she gave it a try. And after 10 days, she felt relief. And after 3 months, her chronic pain had almost disappeared. And now here she is competing. Everybody, please give her a nice round of applause for Junie Sonoika.
Begin, please.
Great job, Jenny. How long did it take you to get that floating lotus?
Floating. Well, I don't know where.
She's speechless, everybody. Give her a breath. Hold on. How long did it take you practicing to get that posture?
I actually have been practicing for 16 years, and but I start doing the athlete practice since 6 months ago, thanks to Michelle and Cynthia coaching. So, yeah.
Well, you did a great job. Everybody give it up. All right, we're ready for the next one.
All right, moving on to a new category, men 35 to 49. All right, our first competitor is from California. Please welcome John Buckland. Hi, John. Here, step right over here. What a solid routine. That was really mesmerizing. How do you feel?
Pretty good.
You guys all kind of say the same thing when you get done. You're like, pretty good, good, really good, good, pretty good. Cool. So I hear you practice at Red Dragon and Hot Yoga Republic, yeah?
That's right.
Looks like you do Bikram yoga.
I do a lot of that. Yeah,
Awesome. And you're also an artist?
I am.
What kind of art do you do?
Landscapes and still lives.
Painting. Yeah, we have artist spaces for rent upstairs. If you want really great neighbors that don't make any noise. I had one other question I was going to ask you. Oh, yeah. How does doing yoga help your creativity?
And it increases performance.
Efficient. I like it. All right. Well, go catch your breath, get some water. See you later. Well done.
Next athlete coming to the podium. Please give a nice round of applause from Bikram Yoga San Jose, Roger Chen.
Begin, please.
Great work, Roger. Come on down. Tell us what was going through your head.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so well trained that, you know, like a golf swing, you don't really think much. I was just swinging away, you know. Yeah. But I kind of slowed myself down a little bit just from experience. But
what are the key takeaways from today?
Oh, well, focus. You can't underestimate that. Trading for, you know, in the moment, you know, it's really useful. You know.
You did a great job, Roger. Everyone give it a...
All right. Next category is women, 35 to 49. Up first, Janice Strong Boss Bell. Let's hear it for Janice.
Begin, please.
Wow. I'm right over here. Oh no, I'll hug you too. Yeah, get in here.
Get away.
I've seen you compete a few times at this point, and I have to say that was buttery. How do you feel right now? Use more words. Use more words than the other people, please.
I feel relieved that it's over and really proud and I just think about how far I've come from where I've started, just from like practicing Bikram to being convinced to be on stage to just being here now feels really, really good. Like I'm really proud.
I think that's what the yoga competition is all about. It's about how you're bettering yourself all the time and focus on that. And yeah, it's just amazing to watch you compete today. You're so solid, so strong. And I also, Carl's like really prepared and he wrote some notes down about you. I just wanted to share them. Dedicated is the word that comes to mind. Teacher, mother, wife, manager, we call her strong boss. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Janice
Strong
Bell.
boss. Okay. Next athlete, Bikram Yoga San Jose. 18 years of practice. Yoga's helped her turn doubt into optimism. And she placed 5th last year at the USA Yoga National Championships. Bringing to the stage, Stephanie Chen.
Begin, please.
Yeah, we'll have that ready for the next athlete. Stephanie, that was amazing. That was really amazing. Tell us how long it took for you to get into that posture called flag. That, and then can you just describe that posture for people in case they don't know which one I'm talking about?
Okay, it's the one where you lift your leg up in a split, and you grab onto it, and then you imagine like a flag is hanging off of one side. So I don't know. I've been doing that one for years. I don't know how long it took me. I did ballet before when I was much younger, and so I think that was something that was already part of the training, and so now I just had to yogafy it, and and so yeah, and so I think when I saw like, oh, that was an option, it's like I'm gonna do that one. Hopefully do that one really well.
You did it very well. Everyone give it up for Stephanie.
All right. You guys ready? Cool. Coming up next in this division is Faye Galt from California.
Begin, please.
time.
Michaela, if you're using a different, are you using a different mat, can we get that going for you real quick? Faye, that was so awesome. Here, come right over here, will you? Thank you. Thanks, Pauline. Such a clean, solid routine. How are you feeling right now?
I feel amazing and so grateful. Thank you so much to my coach, Kim Tang, the one and only, and USA Yoga, and all of the athletes, and all of the people here tonight, today, and Funky Door for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's so inspiring. I was so inspired watching you. I was like, I want to do this next year. And yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Inspiring others. I love your signature flower in your hair, and you always smile, which is really cool. Can you tell me how like putting an easeful look on your face helps your practice?
Oh, well, you want to definitely relax everything that you don't need in every single posture. And you can definitely relax your face with a smile. And I've also just noticed without a smile, it can kind of look a little.
Yeah, take notes, you guys, because you give us some crazy looks when we're teaching you, okay? And it's kind of scary sometimes, but also we get it. Are you guys good? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Faye. Give it up one more time for Faye.
Introducing next, Michaela Glass.
Begin, please.
Michaela, great job. I couldn't find much about you. So can you give us your home studio? Can you give us a shout out to your home studio? Tell us.
Shout out to Lynn over here.
Shout out, Lynn.
Yoga Hell, yeah.
Oh, Yoga Hell. Okay, cool. Yoga Hell. All right, great job today. Thank you so much. Okay, our next competitor, our next athlete, she teaches at New Mission and High Yoga Seacliff. Shout out New Mission. And, you know, yoga, she says, is about you, your breath, and living this moment in time. So please give a nice round of applause for Alyssa Quintananor. Alyssa.
Begin, please.
Check, check, 1, 2. Amazing. If the next competitor needs a different mat, can we get that switched out now, please? Alyssa, that was so beautiful. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Good. It's going around. You're exuding happiness.
I feel very happy, yes.
Does it feel like the actual competition is just the icing on the cake?
A little bit, yes. It feels like that went by faster than it should have, maybe. It feels like everything leading up to this makes this feel like, and like you said, exactly, like the cherry on top.
Yeah, you were smiling so big from the moment you got on stage. It filled us all up with happiness. It's so cool to see that. Like, no nerves at all. Just like, I'm here, y'all. I already won.
Wow. It definitely didn't feel that way, but I'm very grateful that it looked that way.
How long did you train for?
Probably since about January for real.
January for real. Is that a new month? I don't know that one.
I mean, like, I was supposed to be training for that.
No, that's amazing. Well, congratulations. Well done. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, we are down to our last two athletes. This is the men's 18 to 34 division, and I'm bringing up a Bay Area local. He practices at Mission, and please, everyone, give a nice round of applause to Duran Harris.
Begin, please.
Great job. Wonderful work. Tell me, you looked very focused in the very beginning. You took a little bit of extra time. What were you saying to yourself? What were you thinking about right then?
I was not thinking of anything. Clearing the mind, trying to be still. My body already knows the routine, so.
Yeah. So, did you prepare for this? How long have you been preparing, and what has been the best part for you in competing in this competition?
Yeah. So first off, hella nervous. So gratitude for everyone being here, and also I've been training for say about a year doing yoga, and massive gratitude to Kim Tang, whole family, Mission Yoga family, Soul Tribe family. It's been an inspiration because I've been doing track, and coming over to doing yoga has been a blessing, a real blessing, and been probably training for this about like 6 months or so.
Great job. Everybody, please give it up one more time.
Up next, we have Sean Mirando from San Francisco, California.
Begin, please.
Excuse me. Get back here. Hi, Sean.
Hi.
How are you?
Relieved, fun, happy. Life is good.
Good, good. That was awesome. First time competing, right? Cool. Super solid routine.
Thank you.
Gonna do it again?
Right now?
No, no, no. Like in your life.
Oh, a better routine in my life.
Awesome.
Start. This is just a start.
All right, give it up for Sean.
Give it up for Sean, everybody. One more round of applause for all the athletes here who competed today in person. We do need to do some house cleaning here. I wanted to send some appreciation, some shout outs to all of our wonderful sponsors here. So our sponsors, Blaze Yoga Lancaster, Drink Superior Electrolytes, Radiant L, Kenneth Brand, who's in our lobby, Of the Saints, Yoga Factory, Shakti Activewear, and Lace by Leju. Thank you for showing up today, and thank for all the sponsors who helped make this event happen. So our judges are going to take some time right now and do some math, and this competition will continue online, so you can watch the second part of this competition on Zoom. All of your series today will be on YouTube today, so you could go check out USA Yoga on YouTube. I want to also give a shout out to Lynn and Jeff here, the owners and founders of Funky Door Yoga. Thank you both. And our judges here, I'm going to give them some shout outs too. So Jalinda Hackett, give it up for Jalinda. Aaron Paulson, Aaron. Rondir Baines, who teaches here, Rondir. Michelle Vinard, who did our timing. And finally, Lynn Whitlow, who is our other timing judge. Thank you to everyone who came and supported these athletes today. One more round of applause for all the athletes. Thank you so much. And if we could bring you all up here to get a picture, that would be amazing. If we could get all the athletes on stage for a picture. Come on, don't be shy. Just go on and get up there. So as all the athletes are getting on stage for this photo, just a reminder that we are going to show the scores and the placements here today. They'll be up on the projector in just a few minutes.
We're ready for you, Tim.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get started and welcome everybody to part 2 of our third qualifier of the season. As a lot of you know, earlier today, we had an in-person qualifier in Berkeley, California. So congratulations to all those athletes who showed us some great stuff. We are doing a hybrid this time. So now we have in the same day, in the same afternoon, we're moving right into an online competition. So we had about 16 people earlier. We're going to have about 16 people right now. And good luck to all of you. Quick thank you to the judges, the tech team, the planning team, all our sponsors, and all of the athletes and coaches for their hard work to prepare for what we're about to see. Just a quick word about the flow of it. When your name is announced, you are going to be spotlighted. You'll take a position in the center of your mat, give us a bow. Don't forget to do that. And then wait for me to say, begin, please. And then you'll go ahead and do your routine. You should be doing is when you're announced, taking yourself off of mute. We do need to be able to hear you as well as see you. And then we will just have you go back on mute when you're finished. Okay, that's how it's going to flow. And I'll have a lot more to say as we are waiting between the athletes. And we are going to get started with our first youth group, girls 9 to 11, and representing the wonderful state of Florida is Sydney Windsor. There she is. You look great. Give us a bow. And begin, please. Very good job, Sydney. Very nice, well prepared, clean routine. You did a great job. So now we're going to wait for Sydney's scores. I'll let Sumini know that you are on deck, and you will be the last of our youth athletes this afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Then we'll get to our men's 65 plus. So Craig Friedman, you are on double deck. Sydney's routine had a couple of postures that we don't see that much, like bound lotus, and I thought that was a really nice bound lotus, super clean, very nice tight lotus. And she went right into a lifting lotus. Should point out that you always have to come fully out of a posture before you go into the next posture. She could have made a mistake and left herself in lotus and then just picked herself up, but she did not make that mistake. So some good coaching there. And she came out of it, went back into lotus, and it was also, I thought, a really good lifting lotus. So very nice routine. While we're waiting for the judges' scores, I am going to mention that a few things changed this season. We are now breaking up into more age categories. So no change with the young people that we're seeing right now. But the two changes with the adult groups are, first, the 50 plus used to be 50 till forever. Now it's 50 to 64 and then 65 plus. And then on the younger adult side, we now have 35 to 49 and then 18 to 34. Just a quick note to the team that Maggie Julian is now in the Zoom. So when it's her turn, we'll do a quick mat check. Okay, and just let us know when we're ready for Sydney's scores, and then we'll go ahead and go on to Sumini.
Might have to catch up on the scores while we negate some technical difficulties on that. So
Okay.
maybe after the category. Yep.
Sounds good. All right. Just let me know when the judges are ready then. Okay, the judges are ready to go to our next athlete, Sumini Kandula, representing the state of California. Okay. You may begin. Thank you, Sumini. Very good job. So as we saw, both of our athletes in these two youth categories did 6 different postures across 6 different categories. And that's really the other rule change I wanted to talk about. We used to have a rule where you'd get a -1 off your score if you decided to double up on a category and skip a different category. Now that's a -3 starting with this season. So we are going to see, for the most part, people doing 6 different categories these days. And Sumini was our last athlete in the youth categories. So I'll wait to get word if we're going to put up scores for the 2 young ladies. Our next
Yes, I
group.
can put up scores, but it does not show their name, so I'll just say their name.
Okay. Next up, after we see these scores, will be men 65 plus, with Craig Friedman being first,
Just
and
switch.
then Jerry Phillips second.
Okay, so we'll do Sumini first. Okay. So we have the scores ready. Just give me half a moment. I'll post. We'll start with Sumini. I apologize if I'm not saying your name correctly. Right. So there's Sumini's scores.
Okay, we've got her name too.
Yes.
And her state flag even.
Working
So
on
that's a really clean routine there. We saw all, they're already gone, but we're saw on the 7s and the 8s, which was very nice.
And I believe this is Sydney.
Is this Sydney?
It's not showing the name. This is Sydney. It's just not showing the name for Sydney.
Okay, so Sydney was our first athlete in the girls 9 to 11. We see those are also great scores, especially on those first 2 postures. To get in the high 8s means that a couple of judges awarded her a 9, and a 9 is a hard score to get. So that bound lotus that I commented on, not the highest on the difficulty scale, but she got almost a 9 on that. So that's going to get her a lot of points. Super clean posture. The third posture she got a good score on as well, which was that lifting lotus that I commented on. All right, very nice job, ladies. And we are, when the judges are ready, are going to move on to men 65 plus. Craig Friedman, you will be the first in that group, so you should be getting ready. Could be in about a minute that they'll be ready for you. While we're waiting, I'd just like to thank Funky Door Yoga as well for being a host again. Really appreciate that. Seems like you all had a good time there in person with a lot of California people, almost all California people. You had an Oregon, a Texas, and the rest of it was California. We have a lot of different parts of the country coming in for the virtual, as you would expect. So it's a busy spring for yoga after this event. The next big event is actually moving to IYSF in Malaysia, which will be the internationals that first weekend in April. Oh, and then you got this guy here with the snazzy shorts. It's going to be doing a workshop, an online workshop about lotuses, which I was just going on and on about Sydney's lotus. So I'll be talking about lotus at the end of April. So check that out if you're available that weekend. Got a lot of stuff going on for you guys. Then the next big event to mark your calendars for is the first weekend in May. So May 3rd will be the Portsmouth event in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which is also going to be a great event. We already have 20-some people signed up for that. So representing on the East Coast, the West Coast brought a lot of people to this event. So now we're going to represent up in New Hampshire as well. We'll also have
we're
Jared
ready for
McCann
you,
there.
Tim.
Great. We'll have Jared McCann there doing some workshops. And it's a really nice venue and a cool spot. Okay, we are ready for Craig. So let's go ahead and see you on your mat, Craig. And I'd like to announce, for representing the state of New York, a world champion for 2021 in men 50 plus, Craig Friedman. Yeah, just take yourself off mute. Okay.
Do you think it's crooked now? Looks pretty straight compared to the mat. What do you think? Let's say what you want.
Just doing a quick mat check.
It's okay.
Okay.
We're ready.
You give us a bow, Craig. Give us a bow. You can bow when you're ready. And begin, please. Thank you, Craig. Great job. Okay, so while we wait for Craig's scores, I'll talk a little bit about his routine. Some very difficult postures in it, especially that bow-legged peacock that he went for. Just to get your legs into that position. Most people will never do that and probably shouldn't try unless you are coached very specifically on how to achieve that bow-legged position. But there are some postures where if you do it with the bow-legged, where he's taking his foot and kind of bringing it around the outside and then tucking it on the thigh muscle, very hard to achieve. But when you can do that, it really, in a posture like peacock, it really does increase the difficulty of that posture and makes it a 9-point posture. Now, he wasn't able to keep his feet in that position, so he had to make a decision there to go for what's called a second try, where you can try again, but you lose half the value. And I think Craig must have decided he didn't have time to go for the second try, and he moved on to another very hard posture, which is called mountain, and he was able to hold that. So let's go ahead and put up his scores. And we see there, like I said, on that third posture, because his feet fell out of it, he did not get a score. He could have done a second try, but probably wise not to with the time factor, which I'll talk more about. But the rest of these scores are very solid scores for a veteran like Craig who knows what he's doing out there. So really good job. The second posture, that was called Tiger. he did a nice pike up and down on Tiger. So that's a good score to see on Tiger posture, which is a 7-point posture. All right, we have one more athlete in men's 65 plus. That will be Jerry Phillips. So you should be getting ready, Jerry. Judges will let me know when they're ready for Jerry. Okay. Mhm. And just explain a little bit more what goes on with that second try. We might see some more of those today. We don't want to see those too much, but what happens is when you do have to come out of a posture and then attempt it again, you're allowed to do that one more time. And that's why it's called the second try. You cannot do it a third time, but you lose half the value on your execution mark when that happens. And we are now ready for Jerry. So Jerry, go ahead and stand in the middle of your mat and give us a bow when you're ready. And Jerry Phillips is representing the state of Washington. So go ahead and begin when you're ready, Jerry.
Keep your knees locked. Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry. Really good job. And Jerry's going to be the first of several athletes we'll be seeing from Washington State today. They're actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the best represented state in this virtual part of our event today. So thank you, Washington. And that was a nice routine from Jerry. He showed us a lot of control and a lot of nice flow. Connections were really good. And I thought the shoulder stand, really straight legs when he hit that final position. And I was especially impressed by the control coming out, like really nice piked legs. You really you saw no collapse at the very end, which sometimes when people are learning shoulder stand, as they're coming out of it, their feet just that last like 20 degrees or so, just kind of plunk and falls and hits the mat. And he really kept everything really tight until he was fully out of the posture. So that was really well done. We will be getting Jerry's scores up very soon. Looks like they're about to put them up there. There we go. Ramesh should be getting ready. He is on deck. So these are all solid scores. The spine twist probably took a couple deductions for things like the knee was up off the mat. That fourth posture that he's getting that 0 on is a posture I'm sure he's working on and will be wonderful someday. It's the finger stand, which is a very difficult lift. Didn't quite achieve full takeoff there with both feet. So that's why the judges really had no choice there but to give the 0. Okay, and the judges are ready for Ramesh, so we are moving right along. Let's go ahead and get him spotlighted and announcing a national silver medalist and a world IYSF world silver medalist in the men 50 to 64 category, Ramesh Anji representing Texas. And you may begin. Great job, Ramesh. So what we just saw from Ramesh, who also has a lot of experience doing this, is a very, very difficult program, especially with those last two postures, both 9-point postures on a difficulty scale, and that's out of 10. So almost his lift, he had his leg behind his head, the other one wrapped in front of him, and then goodbye, another leg behind the head posture. Also a 9-point posture. So really nice job. I also thought that Tiger Lotus, which is a very difficult posture, also was performed very well. Ramesh also has worked on his timing because he came in well under the 3 minutes, I think. So that was really well-timed program all around. Okay, we are ready for his scores. Let's put those up. And then that will finish this group, and we'll be moving next to women 50 to 64, and Donna Fox will be the first up in that group. Okay, so look at these scores, 2 9s. That's excellent to get to 9-point posture. So the rabbit was a 9, and the twists, those were both 9s. Ohm is a very difficult posture so to get an 8.5 on that is very good, and to get an 8.2 on goodbye is also very good. And yeah, the only thing I wrote down in my notes is I wasn't sure if that half moon back bend was held long enough, and he did get a timing deduction on that. So even with that one little adjustment of another second there, he would have had a 7.5 on that first posture. So these are really excellent scores. I might be a little bit worried about these scores, I have to tell you. Good job, Ramesh. And we are ready to move now to women 50 to 64. Our first athlete, because I believe Allison is not here. It will, in fact, be Donna Fox. Let's go ahead and spotlight Donna. And Donna is representing the state of Florida. Give us a bow when you're ready. As soon as that thumb gets off of the screen. All right. And you may begin.
I didn't have that up.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Very nice job. So I was talking about the second try a little bit earlier, and if we see low scores on those first two postures, the second try is probably going to be involved. And standing head to knee, like that might be a no score if she wasn't able to get her forehead to her knee. And all these postures, you do have to achieve what's called minimum expression, and in that one, forehead has to get to the knee. So it is possible that if she didn't achieve that, we might not see a score. On standing bow, that was a less obvious second try. She went for the foot grab and had to put her foot down. It might seem like, all right, well, she didn't really start yet, but technically, I think that's going to get a second try as well. She got it together because that's one of the sharpest triangles I've seen. Really good triangle. I think that's going to be a high score. And then crow, we haven't seen any crows yet, and that was a nice crow. Handstand had a really nice pike and a lot of good control. So I think we're going to see some high scores on the later postures. And that's one thing we learn to do as athletes is even if something doesn't go exactly as planned at the beginning, keeping your composure, and that just is part of your training, is to stay with it and perform the rest of your postures as well as you can. Okay, so we'll have Donna's scores up soon. I had mentioned on the previous athlete that there was a timing deduction. So we are looking for the 5 seconds held in stillness for 5 seconds to get a full score. If it's 4 seconds, it's minus half. If it's 3 seconds, it's -1. If it's less than 3, it is a 0. So here come Donna's scores, and we are seeing a 0 on the first posture. Like I said, she did not achieve the expression there. And then the rest of these are pretty good, especially like I said, that headstand. That headstand was really nice, and that triangle, that's at 8.3. I knew that was going to be a really well-marked triangle. Oh, and it looks like there was a timing deduction on crow. I didn't put that in my notes, but she would have even had a better score on that crow if she held it for another beat. Okay, good job, Donna. We have one more athlete in women 50 to 64. So Helen Park, you are on deck. We'll let you know when the judges are ready for you. Looks like they are. So now representing the state of California, please welcome Helen Park. You may begin. Okay, thank you, Helen. Very nice job. Great routine. We saw a standing bow. Only saw one or two of those so far today, other than Helen's. And I really liked her standing bow. I thought her extension was good. She got really low. Standing bow is a posture where there's a lot of different places you can take a deduction. Almost all of us take one on not achieving the full split. I haven't seen a perfect full split on a standing bow in quite a while. But a lot of people also take a deduction for not getting low enough with that arm that's reaching forward and with the upper body. And I thought Helen did a really good job in showing off that part of the posture. Standing head to knee might be a timing thing there. That looked a little rough, but her upward stretch, scores are ready, so we can post the scores. Upward stretch was the third posture. I'm interested to see how high that score is because I really appreciated her upward stretch. I thought the toes pointed and just the whole position was really beautiful. And I'm right. I like when I'm right. 8.8 on an upward stretch. A lot of times I see really good upward stretches and they're nowhere near that score. So I really thought hers was exceptional. So all eights, the standing head to knee just probably didn't hold it long enough to get to that minimum 3 seconds. And that's why there was a 0 there. But if you imagined if we got that posture in, just how great these scores are. So great job, Helen. And we are ready to go on to the next group. So our next group will be men 35 to 49. First up in that group will be Brian Fowler. So Brian, go ahead and get ready. We can spotlight him. On deck is Vaughn Jensen. So you will be second in this group. Let's find Brian. Okay, representing the state. You're good. Just come off of mute. Yeah, you were doing right. Take yourself off of mute, and then you could get back on your mat and give us a bow. So here's one of those Washington people really representing Brian Fowler. Go ahead, you may begin. All right, thank you, Brian. Great job. Really clean routine. Another Washington person who you can tell they've worked on their routines a lot, really put together the flow of it, the choreography, no sense of rushing or anything there. So I really like how Brian handled it. And I don't know if this is Brian's very first competition, but I think it's one of his first. And he looked very composed and experienced out there. So nice job on that. Brian did a peacock as his lift. I thought that was, my opinion, his best posture. Very, very straight, very level and parallel to the ground. A lot of times you see people's feet get much higher than the upper body, and that's not what you want. You want it as parallel, the whole body as parallel to the ground as possible. Let's go ahead and put up Brian's scores. The previous athlete, Helen Park, she had a very straight peacock as well. Also did not have that problem of the feet going too high. If anything, I noticed that hers were a little bit low, which is actually hard to do. So good job for both of them for not having that, very slanted position on their peacock. We are ready for Brian's scores as soon as Glenn is ready. And then we'll move on to the next athlete. So yeah, peacock was the fifth posture, 8.7. That means somebody gave him a 9, and that's really a good thing to be proud of. We also see on the second one, I think second one was rabbit, got that 8.5. So good job there. Nice job, Brian. Okay, I think we are, let me just check. Looks like they're so we are going to be ready for the next athlete, but there's been some confusion. Vaughn, is your first name Vaughn or your last name Vaughn?
First name. Vaughn.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. All right, so Vaughn
So here
Jensen
first.
representing New Mexico will be our next athlete. I saw it both ways on 2 different places. So that's what the judges wanted to check as well. So they're ready for Vaughn. 1 syllable. You can give us a bow. And begin, please. Okay, great job, Vaughn. Really nice routine there. I think we're going to see a lot of very high execution. We have seen some half moon back bends that were very clean and done with, very proper. I think we're going to see a higher score than we've seen on that posture thus far. His headstand lotus was also really good. He had some good pike on the way up. There was a slight break on the pike on the very exit. So I'm just pointing that out because everything else I noted was so clean on his routine. If headstand lotus doesn't get a very high score, it might just be that little break in the legs at the very end. The rabbit, I think it was an exceptional rabbit. I think it's going to be well into the nines. The archer was also very well done. And then the ohm, we've seen one other ohm from Ramesh earlier. That's a 9-point posture, so it's very difficult. And here are the scores. So yeah, rabbit into the nines, good, better be. And then that ohm, which is a 9-point posture to score 8.8 on that difficult. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it was ohm at the end. To score 8.8 on that difficult a posture is really exceptional. So these are really, really good execution scores against difficult program, and that is great. So he's going to have a super high score. We are ready for our next athlete, who is Michael Lubert, representing the state of Pennsylvania, a national champion and a world silver medalist. So let's go ahead and find Michael. Give us a bow when you're ready. You're unmuted. I think you're good. And begin, please. Time limit. Okay, thank you, Michael. Great job. So as I said, Michael is a former national champion, many-time national medalist. We really see a lot of difficulty and a lot of great execution from him, as you would expect. His last two postures, as we know from a couple of the previous athletes, are very difficult. The ohm, which was the lift, both the leg behind the head postures, and also goodbye, which is a traction, both nines. And he gets his leg back there really far. Some people go for those postures and they're really struggling to keep that leg behind the head, but Michael does that really well. He's also the first person we've seen so far to do full bow, which is a back bend, a very difficult back bend. Some of the women do that. Not many men do that. Michael does it very well. And the lifting tortoise, which is in the compression, it's the hardest of the compression postures. So overall, his routine is a very difficult routine. And here we are. We see some really good scores. That tortoise, believe he probably got some extra skill on that, and it's gone already. So extra skill on that for not using his hands to get his legs behind his head. So that's Vaughn. If we can go back to Michael for another moment, just for people to see his scores. But Michael's scores were also very good. All right, while they just find Michael and we put those up for a few more seconds, we'll get ready for our next group. So that was the end of our men 35 to 49 group, which means women 35 to 49 will be up next. And that group will be Cheyenne, so you should be getting ready. And there's Michael's scores. So take a screenshot, somebody. All very high scores. There is a timing deduction on ohm, so that would have been even higher. He would have been all in the 8s and 9s if not for that timing deduction, which is a minor timing deduction. It just means he was at 4 seconds and not quite at 5 seconds. He could have been at 4.9 seconds. You truly have to be at 5. But great routine. That's going to be a very high overall score. All right. Very competitive group there of men in that 35 to 49 group. So the judges are ready to move on to our women. And we have 2 different groups of adult women, starting with women 35 to 49. And first up will be representing the state of Washington again, Cheyenne Cohagen. You may begin. Thank you, Cheyenne. Good job. Another one of our Washington athletes there showing us a really well thought out program, not rushing, a lot of composure, a lot of nice flow to it. She did a crow. She held it for a very long time. I thought she was going to be up there all day. That was really good. When you'll see crow start getting even better scores is when you lock out those arms. That's the one thing she'll be working on for her crow. Rabbit was, I thought, very, very good too. And upward stretch is a difficult posture. So she put up a pretty good upward stretch. Let's go ahead and show the scores. And our next athlete is, I think, the one person we weren't able to mat check. So let's just keep that in mind before we go to Maggie Julian, who is on deck. And here comes Cheyenne's scores. And look at these. These are really solid scores. The straight across, like really good. The crow, like I said, arms could have been locked out, but it was a pretty good crow overall. Shoulder stand, probably the thing there was like bent legs a little bit on the way in and the way out. So really tightening up those pike positions on the shoulder stand, I think would bring that score up even higher. But these are something to be really, really proud of. I'm not sure about Cheyenne, if it's her first or one of her first, but I think she's somewhat of a newcomer as well. So that is a wonderful routine, something to be super proud of. Okay, I think what we should do next is spotlight Maggie Julian, just to do a mat check, unless somebody snuck a mat check in when I wasn't watching. Yeah,
I've been trying, but she needs to go straight away from the mat. We're getting the side angle. It needs to be straight in front of the mat. Line up the bottom of the mat with the bottom of the camera. Straight, 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 lined up, even, parallel.
Yeah.
All the words for straight. That looks much better. Just move your mat closer to it now.
Yeah,
And
bring your mat
in the
towards the
middle of the
camera
screen.
and then stand on it.
Yeah, the camera's straight. Just move the mat. So it's in the middle and a little bit closer. So move the mat so it's in the middle and a little bit closer. Now come like 6 feet forward. Don't move the camera. Don't move the camera.
Leave the camera, leave the camera. Just move the mat towards the camera, about a foot or so.
Like 6 feet.
6 feet,
6
okay.
feet.
That's good. Right.
Now to her right. So toward the mirror a little bit. Half a foot toward the mirror. Yes. That's good.
Yeah, that's
It's good. Better. Yeah, good.
Okay.
We're ready when
Okay, representing the state of California, Maggie Julian. Take a bow. And begin, please. Okay, thank you, Maggie. Very solid routine. Her first posture was standing head to knee. Very difficult posture to do. People do it often because there's not many compressions to choose from, and it is a 7 in the compression category. And as we know now, you really have to do all the categories based on that rule change. And what I wrote down about Maggie standing head to knee is that she was super still. She hit a great position. I thought the position was really sharp. And it's almost like, did the camera freeze or something? Because like she did not budge in it. And that is it's hard to do in any posture, but it's specifically hard to do in standing head to knee. As you might notice, there's a lot of wobbling in that posture. So we are ready to put up her scores. I think we're also going to see, so that was the first posture. Let's see what the score is there. And then on the 5th posture, which was a spine twist. Okay, so the standing head to knee would have gotten a good score. I did think it was close on time, so that was the only thing there that brought her down out of the 8s. Spine twist I thought was good. There might have been a little deduction on that spine twist as well, because I thought her shoulder line was really nice. Could have been something like the knee. But nice solid marks all across. And the judges are ready for our next athlete in this category, which is going to be our final athlete from the state of Washington. Please welcome Ali Mascarelli. Okay, you may begin. Okay, thank you, Ali. Great job. So, Allie did the 2 postures that we haven't seen yet today. Full spine twist, which was her twist, obviously. Very hard to do, doesn't look like much, but to get the legs in that half lotus position and that foot crossed over the folded knee, that's usually the tough part for people. And what's very nice, I think, about her full spine twist is that she gets like in full profile. It can be hard when you have your legs all tangled up like that to get a nice twist going, but she really opens up her shoulder line and gets her neck turned all the way. So we're seeing the full side of her face, which is what you want. The other posture we haven't seen yet was dancer, and we can put her scores up. There they go. And dancer is in the back bend category and a very difficult back bend to do. A lot of flexibility there and also a tremendous amount of balance to have to get yourself into that deep a back bend while standing on one leg that way. So great job, Allie. And again, congratulations to all the Washington people. You represented your state very, very well. Okay, we have one more person in this category, and that is Christina Perez representing the state of Connecticut. Go New England. That's where I am right now. Okay, Christina, give us a bow. Yeah, you're just come off of mute. You were right. Come off of, go ahead and come off of mute. Yep. Okay, you can give us a bow when you're ready. And begin, please. All right, great job, Christina. Go Connecticut. So some really nice postures there. I thought her rabbit was good. The headstand seemed very straight and perpendicular to the ground. So those were really good postures. The I didn't hear anybody call time, but I was getting a little bit concerned about the 3-minute clock. We talked a little bit about earlier about the time of each posture and the 5 seconds and the deductions if you're below 5 seconds, and then nothing if you're below 3 seconds. But there's also that 3-minute clock. All 6 of these postures have to be done within 3 minutes. And then depending on how far over you go, you could possibly not get credit at all for the 6th posture, or there could be deductions. And if we don't see a score go up on that last posture, which was her lift, the 8 angle, it could be because she was over 3 minutes. But we'll see. I wasn't timing it. It just felt to me like the program was running a little bit slow there. So I don't think we're quite ready to put the scores up. So I'll just mention that that's the end of our women 35 to 49. Our next group will be women 18 to 34. And Krishna, you will be first up in that group. I should also be thanking our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. We have Radiant Activewear, Blaze Yoga, Lancaster, Lace by Law, Superior, Shakti, of the Saints, and Yoga Factory. Thank you for all you do. Yoga. Okay, I think we're ready soon to put the scores up. Thank you, the sponsors I just mentioned. I probably missed one too. Kimith. Radiant L is, I think, now Radiant Activewear. It's just on their website, and that's what it said. So I know they're the same people, though. And I'll put in a plug for Radiant Activewear's men's shorts. They are good. All right, scores are ready for Christina. And I am getting word that she did go over the 3-minute clock. So we'll get an idea of how much she was over. Okay, so the last 2 postures were past the 3-minute mark. So like I said, I wasn't timing it, but I had a sense that the way things were going, things were just going a little bit too slow there. That 3rd posture, rabbit, was the one that I noted was done really, really well. So nice rabbit. Consistently good scores across the board. So it's a pretty easy fix. You have to speed things up a little bit. We never want to see people rushing, but we do have that 3-minute clock to be concerned with. And I'll tell you where it was. Half moon took a long time, and headstand took a long time. When you train, you also have to time yourself. Do your run-throughs over and over. Time yourself on many of those run-throughs so you have a sense, oh, where am I tending to come in? And then plan it for around 240, 245, because you don't know how different you're going to feel when you're actually doing it like this. Okay, so looks like we are ready to move on to our next group. And that, like I said, is women 18 to 34. First up in that group will be Krishna Veni Bandaru, representing the state of Colorado. Give us a bow when you're ready. And begin, please.
If somebody's in there with her, they need to check on her.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. You can stop if you're not. Okay, thank you, Krishna. And first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, first time I thought brain fog.
Oh, okay.
I
That
didn't realize
happens.
until unless you said, "Are you okay?" Then
Yeah. Okay, it's okay.
first time it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We can in the moment we can get lost a little bit. So we're glad you're okay. But once you got that sorted, the rest of the routine was done very well and very confidently. So good job.
Thank you.
All right. While we wait for the judges' scores, we have one more athlete to go, and that will be Clara representing Virginia. So you're on deck, Clara. Good person to bring us home from a full day of in-person plus virtual yoga. I'm sure Glenn and the judges and the staff there are pretty tired. It's getting late here in the East. It's almost 9 o'clock. Those kids we saw an hour and a half ago are probably sleeping by now. Okay, so I'm sure they're just working on Krishna's scores. We'll be ready soon. All right, don't forget about this wonderful Lifting Your Lotus workshop coming up in April. And again, the Portsmouth event, our final qualifier for the USA Yoga season, is that one on May 3rd in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which if you don't know where Portsmouth is, check it out. It's right on the border of Maine and New Hampshire. And there's a lot of great beaches and cool things to check out in that area. Not too far from Boston either, just about an hour from Boston. So if you're coming from out of state and you have to fly, you probably fly into Boston Airport. There's a small airport in Portsmouth too. Great town. We'll have Jared McCann there doing some excellent workshops. I'll be there. Sarah Gennaria, our president, will be there. It'll be a cool time. Okay, I think we're still working on those scores. We should be ready soon.
So we're going to move on to the next competitor and show both scores after, yeah?
Okay. Sounds like a good plan. So let's go ahead and spotlight Clara, representing the state of Virginia. We have Clara McGrail. Begin, please. Thank you, Clara. Beautiful routine. Couple postures were new there. Well, one was new, two were new. Split arm, which we usually see more of, but we didn't see many of those today. That's a very difficult posture. It's her first posture in the back bend category. Hard to hold that in the full position like she did. And then she did a one-legged peacock. Sometimes I mess up and call that a one-arm peacock, but it's a one-legged peacock because you tuck one of the legs in there. That was really nice and straight. Second full spine twist that we saw today, that was done really well also. And then she had, I thought, a nice tiger there at the end. So right now we're showing Krishna's scores, and we had that issue at the beginning. So she did not get a score for her first posture, which is actually a full camel, fairly difficult posture. And then we see pretty good recovery and good scores for the rest of them. I think she was just rushing on that second and third posture, like getting herself back into it. So those would have been in the sevens as well. So good job, Krishna, pushing through after you had a bit of a mishap there on that first posture. So now we'll find Clara's scores. And these are excellent. We get rated on the execution and the difficulty, and you can't ask for much more on execution here. It was also a difficult program, but to see execution scores like that, 9 on Tiger is tough to do. And I think she got a 9 because she had her chin so far forward. The throat was almost perfectly parallel to the ground, and that's what you want. And that's really where people don't usually get the highest scores. 8.8 on Archer is also very good. Okay, excellent job, everyone. That is our last athlete, as I said. And just a question to Glenn and the team. Are we going to be putting up a scoreboard, or is that going to just be posted online?
So our scores, they'll just be part of the running scores. So they will be up as soon as tomorrow, right? So you can look for your scores from today on the running scores list tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Good job today, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd like to thank again our judges. So we have Lynn, Aaron, Jolinda, Rod here, and Michelle all there on the judging team. Glenn making sure everything runs technically and all the event planning helpers behind him to pull this off. And again, all the coaches and athletes for all the work you put into making this happen and giving us these great routines. So remember to look for us on May 3rd in New Hampshire. Good luck, and everybody watch and support the IYSF event in April coming from Malaysia. We don't have to all go to Malaysia. It'd be nice if you can, but definitely at least watch it and support it that way. And then nationals, we'll see everybody hopefully in Pennsylvania in State College in August. So great job, everyone. Have a great evening. See you next time.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.